Okay, guys. I read some days ago an article about some top earners at Young Living that were Christians leaving Young Living and walking away from a very large income because they claimed that Young Living had become more and more satanic. That's their words, not mine. I didn't read it in detail, but the gist of it was that they were recommending a book which was deemed to be satanic. I think they were arguing that they hadn't recommended it, but it was some individual distributor high up or something. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, I read that. I found it interesting. Kind of, that's interesting, and moved on. But now I hear that many people are literally throwing away their Young Living oils because of this. I actually saw a post, one of my Facebook friends who was asking, hey, send them here if you're going to throw them away, which seems reasonable enough, if you ask me. So, from a Christian perspective, then, does it make sense to throw away your Young Living oils because they are satanic? Now, I just will point out for those that maybe don't know, um, I'm a holistic health coach and I do recommend oils, and I chose to recommend doTERRA rather than Young Living. I looked at Young Living, doTERRA, and all the others, and I chose doTERRA. So I'm perfectly happy for Young Living people to switch over to doTERRA. But is this a valid reason? And I don't think it is. I think it's absolutely crazy. And let me explain a little bit. So first of all, you're probably watching this on maybe an Apple phone or Samsung or something made by a company which spiritually has got a lot to be desired, no doubt. Do we start not using companies that are not Christian? Because technically anything not Christian is satanic. Right? And in fact, Young Living, before these Christians joined Young Living, they would have known that the owners um, are all Mormons. Now, I don't know disrespect to Mormons, but from a Christian perspective, that's a cult and are therefore satanic. So they knew that when they joined. Should that make a difference? Because for me, what I look for when I'm looking for a product is the quality of the product. Now, look, I understand why you might be against certain companies with certain practices. I get that. But let me point to scripture for those that are saying that they're Christians and can't follow a satanic, something that's recommended something satanic. This question was asked in scripture about meat. They were asking, can we even eat this meat that has been sacrificed to idols? In other words, false gods. So the pagans were taking meat, sacrificing it to false gods, and then they were selling it in the market. Can a Christian eat such meat that's been literally sacrificed to a false god? Now, that is definitely more satanic than the claims being made against Young Living recommending a book well, I don't know the book, so I'd probably best not comment on it. But that is clearly satanic, right? Meat sacrificed to idols, and now you're going to put it in your mouth. Can a Christian do that? The answer is yeah. We know that idols are nothing. So, yes, we can eat meat sacrificed to idols as a Christian, to demons. So, can we use oils? Now, personally, I wouldn't buy oils from Young Living because I don't think they're as good quality. But if somebody gave me them, I would have no problem using them. I might not use them orally, perhaps, but I would use Young Living oils. Not a problem. I'll put them in my diffuser. No problem whatsoever. I really don't get why someone would be throwing them away because of this recommendation of a book, which may or may not have been recommended by corporate Young Living. But even if it was corporate Young Living, they're not Christians. I don't get it. I mean, I'd love to hear people's thoughts on this as to why. And if we're going to throw away Young Living oils because of that, then what else are we using in our home that we need to start throwing away? Because I would suggest a lot of stuff we need to start throwing away. Everything that we've ever bought from pretty much any corporation. for starters. And then we need to start looking into CEOs and boards and all the rest of it, what their spiritual beliefs are, and throwing away stuff when they don't turn up to be committed Christians. So I don't get it. I really don't get it. So if you're one of these people that thinks you've got to throw away your young living because they've recommended, truthfully or not, I don't really know, but they recommended a book that's spiritually not great. I mean, how many of you watched the Super Bowl halftime thing, which is out satanic stuff with people? Well, I didn't watch it, by the way, but I have heard who's in it. So Eminem and what have you, people who've openly admitted that they've sold their soul to Satan. Hopefully, some of you Christians maybe didn't watch it, but you're free to watch it. But how many of you did watch it and are throwing your young living oils away? I don't know. I don't know. It just seems a crazy thing if you think that you have to have only stuff from people that are spiritually correct, that are committed Christians, and is a fake Christian, which all the cults are classed as fake Christians, Roman Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, and I don't wish to offend any of my Facebook friends who happen to belong to those organisations, but from a traditional Christian point of view, they're all cults. So do we throw away their friendships? Do we throw away a gift that they've given us? I mean, how far do we take this craziness? It really is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So now, Young Living have been caught many times adulterating their oils. That's a reason why you might choose another company. But you didn't choose to avoid Young Living when you knew that, or you didn't maybe research. But because they've recommended a non-Christian book that is being deemed satanic, maybe it is satanic. I don't know. I've not read the book. But again, is meat sacrificed to idols satanic? Veganism, is that satanic? 1 Timothy 4 tells us that in the last days there'll be the forbidding of meat, and that teaching is directly from demons. So, how do we handle our vegan friends? Satanic, throw them away. What if we bought something from a vegan? What do? Throw that away. This is craziness. This is craziness. So listen, if you've got Young Living oils, don't throw them away unless you're crazy. Use them. Okay, use them up, and then switch to a company that you're happier with. If that means people come to me for the terror, I'm very happy about that, of course. I chose doTERRA over Young Living because I believe that they were a better company. So of course, but let's have correct reasons. Let's not be crazy. And this is crazy. But if you have an argument that says, no, Ethan, you're wrong because I don't know what you could come up with, but we have to throw away Young Living oil. I'd love to hear that argument, but it seems to me utterly crazy. So hang on to your Young Living, finish it off, use it, switch companies if that's what you want to do, but really do it for right reasons. Do it because they've got adulterated oils, and there's no transparency, that when they get tested and it comes up bad, they sue the people testing them and all that kind of stuff. That's better reasons. So do it for the right reasons, but let's not have this craziness. All right. God bless everybody. And like I say, I genuinely am interested to hear your reasons. If you're one of those people who believes that you should throw away the oils because they've recommended a book which is being deemed as satanic. And then I want to know about other choices in your life. Did you watch the the Super Bowl thing? Do you listen to music like that in general in your life? You know, do you purchase from Apple? Do you make these kind of decisions where if the top of a company doesn't hold your spiritual beliefs, that you can't deal with that company? Do you do that in general in your life? Do you do that with your friends? Do you cut people off if I don't know, if they're Muslim, if they're some spiritual beliefs that are different to yours? Now I'm a committed Christian, so I do think that they're all satanic. But that doesn't mean I throw them away. I don't think we're supposed to do that. I don't think that's correct. And anyway, you've heard my view. I want to hear yours.